What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl Carrie Money here, and as you can see, I didn't intend on doing a video today, but I just wanted to put this out because my body and my heart and my throat chakra and my third eye chakra, my crown chakra, my sacral chakra, my root chakra is really wanting me to do this video right now, and I just have to listen to it. So in my nervousness of doing this video, I'm going to eat an orange, and I'm peeling it right now because it's helping me cope. And my love language is physical touch, so I need to touch some type of texture when I'm feeling uncomfortable, because I've been through so much shit that now I am really stepping into my light and really owning myself and saying, Kira, this is okay. So, where do I start? First of all, I am a holistic professional, and I absolutely love to help people. I've known this from a very young age, because my mom, she would be so stressed out, and one thing that I just became okay with saying is the fact that I'm a medical medium, and this is the first time that I'm saying this on a social platform, which is not as nerve-wracking as I thought it would be. But at a very young age, I would feel in my neck what my mom was feeling in her neck, her stress. And at some point in my younger years, I decided that let's put an elbow to mom's to mom's back, the back of mom's neck. And when I did that, it alleviated some of the pain and tenseness that I was feeling in my neck. And I was like, so this is how I get rid of it. That was cool. That was awesome. But I didn't really see it as cool. I just saw it as, awesome. I feel relief. And so now, as a 28-year-old woman, I've seen myself as spiritual for a very long time. Definitely since I was, I'd say about 20. I never told myself that I was religious, even though I grew up Baptist Christian, and my mom didn't really go to church, but I was the one that walked to church myself because I needed to clear my mind, talk to God, release and surrender a lot of my angst, a lot of my sadness, and a lot of my loneliness that I was going through. But I never associated myself with religion, and so now at 28, I'm coming to grips with the fact that I don't belong to anything. And when I say I don't belong to anything, I want to specify, I believe in a higher power. I believe that there's a God. I truly know that there's a God. Like when I close my eyes, I can go back into this daydream and this feeling and this like happiness of being a toddler size and sliding down the arms of a giant and literally just feeling like so free and happy. And I know that is that's my God. Like that's dad, you know what I mean? That's what I feel. And I believe that it's important to talk to our ancestors, because our ancestors have given us some genetic wisdom and energetic wisdom from their transition to ensure that I do my due diligence to my bloodline. And so I definitely believe in the power of ancestral recognition. So I give my ancestors food. I talk to my ancestors, especially the ones that were closest to me. And when it comes to gods and goddesses, lowercase, I believe in them too. I believe that we're not here on this earth spiritual beings in a physical body without help. I believe that we need that help from different energies in order to excel us forward or expand us, and maybe even just give us different understandings or guide us in different ways. Some people would consider them angels. On Ifa, people consider them, gods and goddesses. And to be quite honest, the goddesses and gods in Ifa some of them have shown themselves to me, and I've spoken to them too. And in ways that I don't fully understand, but I'm comfortable with. And it's not weird. It's weird to a lot of people, but it's not weird to me because I know myself and who it is that I am in this journey, and I know I'm not crazy. And I know a lot of crazy people say that I'm not crazy, but I know for sure that I'm not. And so many people try to make it seem like as if you are. They make it seem like as if you're just, this different person, this person to be ostracized or looked at like as if you're crazy. But people only understand you at a level that they understand themselves. And I look at some people and I realize that they're not really happy with being fearful of a God that's loving, or being fearful of talking to people that love them. There's just a different level of understanding that I have, and I want to talk about it, and I'll talk about this in a different video because I don't want to stay on that. So expanding from the spiritual to go into the mindful portion of what I feel. For a long time, I have practiced neuroscience and practiced neurophysical, neural ways of thinking, and it's led me to broaden my perspective and broaden my understanding of different things that's going on in the world, and really just approach things in a more philosophical way to be able to transmute my I guess my differences into moments of appreciation, and that has in turn helped me alchemize a lot of the negative feelings that I felt for a very, very long time, it feels, in order to heal. And I'm not talking healing in the sense of superficial level. I'm talking about digging some stuff up that is rooted so deep that you feel the chains break from not only you, but from other people in your bloodline, to where they call you and they're like, hey, long time no see, haven't talked to you in a while, but you've been on my mind, type stuff. Like, there's sometimes when you break chains, if you're doing the work and doing the shadow work, that the people that you help break those chains from, or the people that you helped by breaking those chains, will contact you. If you ever, and if that's ever happened to you, please go ahead and comment down below and let me know if that's ever happened to you. But moving on to a physical, I have a beautiful body. I have a beautiful body. I have a structure. I have a bodily structure, a physical structure that is just so different. Not necessarily different. I'm not like, the only person with this body structure. But I have a body structure that is so beautiful, where people would think that, automatically, like, she doesn't have anything wrong with her. She's never been technically overweight or whatever. But I have. God damn it. I have been overweight in my own way, in my own body shape, my body type, to where I had to lose weight in order to go into the military at 18. It was just probably like 3 pounds. Some people have to lose 20 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever. But it's just the sheer fact that once I realized that I had to lose weight in order to get to some place, I had never been to that weight again. But the military broke my body down mentally and physically so much that I didn't really realize how much damage was done until maybe about 2 years ago, when I moved back home to Miami after not being here for almost 9 years. And that was crazy. That was a crazy experience. Now, to be honest with you all, I really don't understand what is bringing me to do this video, but there's just so much that I need to talk about and get off my chest that I just want to go ahead and do so. Physically, I haven't always looked like this. To me, I thought that I was ugly. Sometimes my booty would be flat and deflated, and sometimes it'll look bubblicious and beautiful. And of course, we all go through our own insecurities. But I'm one of those people where, first of all, I prayed for beauty. I remember when I was in elementary school, I think I was maybe in 4th grade or 5th grade, I had a chipped tooth. I've been bullied from 2nd grade all the way into high school. People were trying to like talking crap about me, treating me, dogging me out, treating me bad. And so I had to grow into my confidence and grow into the love for myself and grow into this body that I have. But I've always, since 18, made sure that I took care of it as best as I can in order to get myself to a space where it was just upkeep. And so going back into the mental portion of it, when it came to me becoming a life coach at 23 years old after my divorce, people were like, who the hell are you to become a life coach? And why are you doing this at such a young age? But I couldn't not do it because it didn't feel like I was supposed to do anything else but help people understand that they can get to the point of upkeep. And I've always been the type of person that was about efficiency, and not necessarily efficiency in cleaning or efficiency in homework, efficiency in a lot of other things, but efficiency in work and efficiency in healing, because healing is something that I truly feel like is what I'm supposed to master in this lifetime. And so in healing my trauma and my generational trauma too, I realized that the part of me that's facing this ageism, the part of me that's facing these different belief systems that try to control my narrative on what it is that I'm supposed to do and what it is I'm not supposed to do, and then these voices that are in my head that have surrounded me all my life, people who don't really know me enough to know what it is that I'm capable of, what it is that I have hidden for a very long time. I come to understand that hello Kira, these things, the most difficult portion of it, all of the words that you're hearing in your head, the ego memories that keep trying to push something back to you, the challenges, the obstacles, I mean, all of these things that just feel ridiculous, the things that feel ridiculous, like not having support, not having a solid, like not having compliments simply on certain things, just feeling like as if people are hating on you for no reason. Like when things just seem preposterous and crazy, and like, damn, am I really going through this? Or damn, am I really like feeling this way because of something that this person did? Did this person really just say this to me? Or did this person really just do this to me? Or did this person just really like do me like that? That's how you know that you're on your path to greatness. And another way that I can explain that is when things happen that are so ridiculous, that's how you know that is a tool, or that should be a tool for ammunition. So in order to transmute and alchemize that specific thing that put you down or made you feel less than, made you feel like as if you're not enough, made you feel like as if you're different, made you feel like as if you were just something to be ostracized, that you need to take that, alchemize it, and change the belief system and change the pattern in order to look at the big picture and say that this challenge that's put forth in front of me was put forth in front of me because essentially I asked for it at some point. Like, so going back into mind, body, soul, spirit, and what we were talking about, the abuse that's happened in my life, the abuse that I've put on myself, the timidness that I felt, the shyness, the ambitious failures that I've had, the procrastination, the belief systems that I have adopted at one point to now rid myself of recently and over time has all been a part of a journey that I'm now understanding how to pedal. At 28, I feel like as if I have finally taken off my trainer wheels. Why does that make me want to cry? I'm so happy for myself and I'm so proud of myself because I feel like as if I've finally taken off my trainer wheels. Now, what's crazy is that I've always been independent and I've always been somebody that has been on my own, but I've never realized how beautiful of a person that I have parented myself to become, because for a very long time I've always done so much introspection to see the wrong in what it was that I was doing, such as going to places by myself. People are like, I can't go no place by myself. I don't like going. And I'm like, honey, I don't like waiting on nobody. First of all, I don't want nobody waiting on me. I like to leave when I want to. I like to go to weird places, and a lot of my friends, some of my old friends, I'll say, because I've lost a lot of friendships over the past 2 years, 3 years. They weren't really down with doing some of the things that I wanted to do. So it's just like, I'm gonna do my thing and bye. Like, so going to places by myself, or gosh, even something as simple as dressing how I want to dress. I find myself being the most colorful person in the room, and I'm like, damn, nobody wants to dress up. But then sometimes I find myself being not the most dressed down person in the room, but the one that is kind of the most like dressed down person in the room. And these are in times where I'm not prepared or whatever, and yet I still smile and shine and feel uncomfortable. But I have approached my social anxiety in a way that is very courageous, I'll say. Like, just being fearful and doing it anyway. But at the same time, feeling that tenseness in my chest that, like, I need to push past this or whatever. And even now, I mean, talking on this camera about myself is not something that's freaking me out, of course, because I'm in a different space. But to get to this point, I know has taken a lot of introspection, a lot of time, a lot of realization. And I'm not sure who this video is for. And I hope that y'all are able to take something out of this, if this is what is for, or if this is just for me, I don't know. But damn. If I could say anything to the 15-year-old version of myself, I would tell her that to go deeper from it's okay to be different, I want her to know that there are going to be times where you want something outside of the box from what everybody else chooses for themselves. And that is okay. I will let her know that the love that she has for nerding out and looking within something different than what the family would see as normal is beautifully okay. I would tell her that the people that you're looking to love you most and support you most will not support you, and that is okay. I would tell her that there are some big valleys and mountains and hurdles that you're going to have to jump over, and some of those valleys and mountains are people that you would never expect will harm you in any way, but you will get past them, and it's okay to get past them. And in a bucket of crabs, sometimes you are in a bucket of crabs, and you are that special crab that people want to pick. And I want you to know that you don't have to lower yourself down to the bottom to make other people feel comfortable, because the people outside the bucket are going to see your light and see your color and see your rarity anyway. And that's okay. And I want her to know that in times of change, you see it as crack, and and other people don't like to face it. So it's not something that you have to talk about all the time, but you will want to, and that's okay too. I just went on a trip to Dubai, and I have been working on this certification since June of 2024, and I finally graduated as a hypnotherapist. And when I tell you it was the most magical experience that I've had so far in my occupational career, I can't say it any more descriptive than that, because it was just so potent. And understanding manifestation, I understand that the level of prosperity that you have within your manifestation really stems from your belief in knowing what is possible. Because you can say that, oh, I want to win $25,000 within two weeks, but if you feel as though deep inside that you don't deserve $25,000, that $25,000 isn't going to come to you. And if you really want to manifest $25,000, but you're not putting in any action toward that manifestation, it's not going to come to you. I know that I'm leaving a subject and going to another one, but this one is on my heart. There's been so many times where I see people pray for certain things, and want certain things and desire certain things, but don't put in the action toward it. I mean, at one point, I thought that I was one of those people. I thought that I was praying for something and that I wasn't putting in the effort to get it. But then I realized that for a while, and probably too long, I was mentally and emotionally being prepared to really do my shadow work. Go type in the comments if that makes sense to you. And I'll give an example. So during my marriage, the first year of my marriage, beautiful, amazing. And then, but I got married in the midst of something that was okay. I'm gonna share a portion of myself that I have not shared on social media ever. When I was in the military, I dated a married man, and Lord knows I tried to break up with this man. This man would just come to my room early in the mornings and knock on my door, and I mean, it was a trip. It was a trip, and I can't really say I loved him. I loved him as a person, as a human being, but I know that he wasn't the one for me. He was somebody to fill a void in that time, and it was like an addiction. But as it turns out, this man was a sociopath and also ended up molesting his trigger warning. He ended up doing things to his 6-year-old stepdaughter, and I didn't really deal with that until a few months into my marriage, where I realized that a lot of my cycles were sort of repeating themselves. And when you look at the nervous system, this is the part where I nerd out about stuff, right? So when you look at the nervous system, right, our when we are in a fight or flight space and hyper vigilant, especially if you come from a childhood of trauma, once you get to a space of solace and once you get to a space where you feel comfortable, it's like as if you don't know truly what to do. Like when I went into the military when I went into the military, and I was in my barracks room before I had this relationship that I was telling you all about with the sociopath. I remember sitting in my barracks room and feeling like as if the walls were closing in on me. Like, oh my gosh, like I ran away from home thinking that I was gonna run into Willy Wonka Magic Wonderland, this amazing space, and turns out that I was running into another cycle of people who just want to control me just to have power and feel comfortable in themselves. And I felt like as if the four walls were closing in on me. So yes, I had my independence, but at the same time I was still shaking off what it is that I was running away from. And then I ended up into one thing, into another thing, into another thing, into another thing. And then I had these people outside having these judgments about me, and I was like, what? Like that's not me. And then doing some introspection of myself and saying, could they be right about these things? And then realizing, hell no, they're not right about these things, because I know what it is that I'm doing, and I know what it is that I have done, like I know what some things that I've done were more negative than positive, but overall I've never ever went to a point of this judgment that people were trying to put on me. It just didn't make sense to me. And then I get married, and then I get comfortable. And I feel so comfortable because I have this person that just know for sure I'm gonna be with for the rest of my life. And then everything that my mind and spirit and body, I guess, was preparing for, to let it go, because I had prayed to God to help me let it go, and that energy answered me. I released that, and then I go to sleep one night, and I'll wake up in the middle of the night fighting from a nightmare. I go to sleep the next night, I come out of my sleep fighting this nightmare. And then I go to sleep the next night, and then I'm fighting this nightmare again. And all three of those nightmares were all different, but they were all different memories of what really happened to me. And so I was just reliving this all over again. And then I get diagnosed with anxiety, chronic anxiety and depression. And as you can tell, I'm not great in my communication as to how to, I guess, structure my articulation on what it is that I want to say, and I'm getting better at it as we go, but it takes practice. And I wasn't able to articulate at the time what was really going on with me, because I had no idea that I was in a process of healing some deep-rooted shit that I wasn't sure if I was ready to let go of. And so that tenseness and that friction, it made me seem weak. It made me and then dealing with things at work and not wanting to be at work, my whole existence, I just felt like as if I just wanted to disappear and never come back up. And so my physical, I felt like a zombie. I felt like I was a spectator in my own body. And so I wasn't a good wife. I wasn't a good person to myself. I was pessimistic. I was just doing a lot of things to keep the negative cycle going. And it took for about 2 years after my divorce for me to truly believe that the person that I had asked God to be in elementary school, in my teenage years, in my early 20s, I got married at 20, needed for my mom to be the way she was, needed me to make the mistakes that I was making, needed me to be around the certain people that I was around, needed me to go through my divorce, and needed me to be to myself again, to realize that I had asked for it all. Not only did I ask for it all, but my prayers were actually answered. And instead of seeing these seeing these negative occurrences as something to mope over and harp on, as something to really rejoice about and say that I'm in the space that I'm supposed to be in. And so now at 28, freaking 4.5, almost 5 years divorced, I'm looking at my life like, what the hell? And you know what's crazy? The synchronicities and how everything is happening. I didn't even notice. I'm just noticing right now. My ex asked me for a divorce March 11th, 2020. And now March 11th of 2025, I'm having to make a huge decision and move from my apartment that I'm in now into a different city again, and different apartment for myself. And I have to choose myself and not be and not choose anybody else's feelings but my own. And that this is wild. This is wild. So mind, body, soul, and spirit. That's what I can leave this video with, because I definitely feel like as if there is a part 2 to this. I'll leave this video with saying that the reason why I feel as though the training wheels are off is because I finally feel so good in this space to to say that I can't even put it to words. I'm just gonna give you an example. Today I was on the bus, and I was on a bus for a very freaking long time. I took public transport to the beach, and usually I would ride my moped over to the beach. It was a beautiful day outside, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and take public transportation. It's gonna be a nice time, whatever, blah blah. And I was hit with some moments that usually would have made me anxious or made me feel like as if I needed to be excuse me, I needed to be hurried. Like I needed to hurry things up, but everything was out of my control. And so I realized that I really love texture, and texture brings me comfort. And so I would breathe and do my breathing exercises, and I would feel some type of texture, because it just felt like as if I was just being consoled by rubbing something, if that makes any sense. And I didn't need any external force to help me feel comfort within myself. And I went to the beach and people were trying to come up to me and talk to me, as people always do on a daily basis. And I really just chose my own space to tell people, I'm not about to give you no 5 minutes of talking because I really want to study and you need to get away from me. I didn't say it like that, of course. I'm a very nice person, very kind person. But I just, guys, I really don't know, like, how to explain this, but I guess we'll get to that point where I'll get better at this. And I look forward to this journey. And so I'm riding this bike with no training wheels. And although I've always been independent, this independence feels different. It feels different. It feels different. It feels good. It doesn't feel anxious. It doesn't feel like I'm like as if I'm looking for something. It feels like I'm okay with being uncomfortable. I'm loving uncomfort. I'm loving unknown. I am just loving. And it feels really, really, really good. Genuinely good. Life without anxiety. Life without hypervigilance. Life without trauma. Life without allowing things to be in charge or be in power of, have power over my emotions. It feels so good. So good. Even my own ego and what was trying to get to me an hour ago, and I'll share it on here. You know, I posted it on TikTok, but I'll share it on here real quick. So, little story time, and I promise you I'm ending the video after this. I was doing a contracting gig. I've had so many different jobs, y'all. I was doing a contracting gig, and we were working under this corporation that needed like hundreds of headphones, and they wanted stickers put on each side of these headphones, right? And it was so dumb. Like, one particular sticker had to be on the right side and one particular sticker had to be on the left side. And for some reason, when the person gave me these directions, I was like, okay, this sticker goes here, this sticker goes there. And they come in, I'm like 200, maybe, like, it felt like 200 headphones in. I swear we had to do like 600 of these things. But I'm like a good amount in, and they tell me that I had done it wrong. So 3 people come in, then 4 people come in, then 5 people come in to help us like change things around, and then also finish the rest of the headphones that we had needed. And there was this other guy in there. He's a black guy, and we were the only 2 black people in there. And I'm a very, outgoing person, but also very respectful person, like, especially in a professional environment. I want to ensure that I introduce myself to anybody that I'm speaking to, just because I want to know who it is that I'm talking to. And not necessarily in the sense of knowing their occupation or what it is that they do, but just knowing their name, to be able to say, hey John, how are you? Like, or hey John, could you pass me this? Or hey John, nice to meet you, whatever. And I already felt like as if I was ostracized in the group in a way. But because people had to correct my mistake, I was definitely ostracized in a way. But not, thinking anything of them. Like, this is a simple mistake. It's stickers being put on headphones. Why y'all want them to be a certain way, don't know. It's corporate, beats me. And I asked this guy, he's the only person in the room that I didn't know their name. So I walked up to him and I said, hey, how are you? My name is Kira, whatever. I was like, what's your name? And then he told me his name. And he's this well-known DJ that does big gigs and stuff like that. Really cool person. Really seemed like a really cool person. But he was one of those guys, one of those black guys that, likes a certain ethnicity of women or a certain look of women. And I wasn't, I'm not interested in this man at all. Not even one bit. I don't want anything that this man has, right? But I just really felt like as if it would be respectful and professional of me to introduce myself to this man. But he was sitting at a table full of women that were, of course, not of my ethnicity, not of my race. And so he decides to basically like embarrass me by saying something along the lines of just speaking about my mistake. And in that time of me being timid and not really, being able to speak up for myself, I could have said something like, I was the only person that introduced myself to you. Nobody else in here knew your name. Like, I started the domino effect of everybody hearing his name and them introducing themselves to him. And the person that showed him the most respect in the room is the person that gets the most backlash. And it just reminds me of how much black women get disrespected by black men in particular spaces. It just, especially in entertainment, it's really ridiculous and it's unfortunate. But this memory popped back in my head for some reason about an hour and a half ago, in my ego, and brought up some emotions and some feelings that I didn't even expect to even feel. And I was like, what the hell? Why is this coming up out of the blue? And I was like, oh, here we go. Something else to transmute, something else to alchemize. And I had to remember the 4 archetypes that Tony Robbins has taught me plenty of times and need to be using. And you have the lover, you have the sovereign, you have the magician, and then you have your empress or emperor. And so I tapped into the warrior, excuse me. So I tapped into my warrior and I said, wait, hold on, because I was feeling real bad. I mean, I'm feeling like as if I'm feeling that burning sensation in my chest. I'm feeling like this feeling of, damn, this embarrassment. I'm feeling this whole thing all over again, because the brain doesn't know real from fake. So if you're going through this whole thing and going through this whole scenario in your head, your brain is recognizing it like as if you're actually living that all over again. And so I was reliving this thing all over again in my head, not even realizing that what it was doing to me. And I then snapped out of it and was like, hold on, warrior, like, whoa. The reason why this ego is bringing this up is because you're stepping into your power. You're stepping out of that timid person. You're stepping out of that place of feeling like as if you're not enough and feeling like as if you're different, into a space of understanding that you are different and that you are enough. And so your ego is your survival brain. It wants to make you feel like It wants you to not be in the spotlight so that you can save yourself from some pain and heartache. It wants you to maybe take a step back from doing your projects and continue procrastinating because you are just shifting into another space that is unknown to this ego. And I was like, no, what we're gonna do is we're gonna transmute this. We're gonna shift this perspective and say that yes, you may not have stood up for yourself in that moment, but there are some things that you are accomplishing. There's there's a tribe that's waiting for you to talk to them, and there's some things that you are about to accomplish that doesn't need you to earn the respect for yourself, because you have that respect for yourself, but it's going to gain that notoriety and respect from other people that may have put you down, that may have made you feel less than. And it's not something that you need. You don't need this validation from those people. But there's no but to that, okay? You don't need this validation from these people. What you're doing is recognizing another reason to give yourself a push toward fully stepping into your power and finishing what it is that you've started, because you deserve it, because you are enough, because you are different, and that difference is leadership. That difference is what propels you forward. That difference is what makes you unique, and that difference is what helps you love on yourself more than anything. Like, to the person that's watched this full through, I want to say bless your ears, honey, and bless your patience, because whoo. But I also want to say that you are enough, and you are capable. We are capable. We are divine. We are stepping into our power. We are stepping into the unknown. And at one point it has felt uncomfortable and a little weird, but weird and uncomfortable is what we want, because if we continuously step into the same mud that we've been stepping into and continuing the same cycles that we have been continuing, then essentially what we're doing is setting ourselves up for the same results that we are asking for change from. And so I refuse to keep stepping in the same mud. I want to be on sandy beaches and oceans, baby. I want to be in nice grass underneath my feet. I want to be in nourishment. I want to be shaded by beautiful palm trees, or go into snow and ski and snowboard. I want to be in different spaces. I want my feet to set foot in different spaces that are not only for me, but also for the generations to come from me. And that's not to add pressure on me. It doesn't make me feel pressured at all. It just makes me feel even more proud of myself and the fact that I'm doing this, and I want to let you know that I'm proud of you for doing it as well. So I think part 1 is done. Because the feeling, the tightness in my chest, and the need to go, Kira, go ahead, get it done, is done. And so that feels really good, and I'm tired. I really want to go to sleep. And so I want you to know that you are enough, that you are deserving of any and everything that you set your mind to. And whatever you visualize and have visualized, it's possible. So peace, love, and beautiful positive vibes, beautiful being. I truly love you.